Tonight on Toy Domination, we're going to be talking about some Marvel Legends trading cards because my best friend Joe said there's finally time, right, Joe?
I have finally allowed you to discuss pieces of flat cardboard on an action figure talk show. Yes,
it's a strong flex, Joe. But I allow you.
There are comic book characters on who are also toys most of the time. Mm-hmm. On these cards, so it's there. I mean, if you were pretending you were Gambit, you could play with them. I guess you could flick them at people and stuff. You know,
I'll allow you that control. And we're joined today by someone who is equally as excited as I am about these cards.
It's No You Grow Up. It's Eric. It's Eric, everybody. What's up, man? Yes. We're in weird spots. I don't like this. You just switch with me.
Yeah.
I don't like being over there.
That's right. Eric's a power bottom. So, hey, man, it's been a long time since we had you on.
That means he generates all the power.
All the power from the bottom. Yeah. The one bummer about this show, though, is it's going to kill your guys' longest running gag.
That's okay.
Is it the longest running gag?
What else
well, before it was actually this T-shirt.
That was a long gag. That was a long gag.
What's the original T-shirt? I don't even know.
So I wore.
He just would wear it subtly every single time without fail. Like he would just and then and the joke was that he was going to keep wearing that same T-shirt on the show until I finally asked him why he was wearing the T-shirt.
This was the first year
it was pretty early.
Yeah, first year.
I don't know how many episodes we did that for, but it was a decent amount.
Stretched for a while. So, but yeah, we have to come up with another one now, Eric. You ruined this one. I mean, we're happy to pull back the curtain on this one.
It's finally happening. It's finally happening.
So
it's happening.
Before we jump in the news here, I wanted to make a couple announcements at the beginning of this video, so that way people who are watching this tomorrow, that way people who are joining the chat, watching it live, and I'll call you guys out in a second here. We've got two announcements. So the first one is, if you're a Patreon and a member, you get a special opportunity. I don't know why I keep using this voice. To make. I think it's because I was watching Matt Colville and he has those weird rises. But anyways, there's an opportunity for you to make a character within the beta test or the play tested rules right now. And if you're a member and a Patreon, I will use that character card and show it in the next skirmish video. So I want to start introducing this game with a slow rollout of videos of how to play it all the way up to Joe Fest. So in these videos, I will showcase your characters and they will be part of the scenario. So that'll be really fun. I've got a Discord that's going on right now and a bunch of people are already excited about it. So that's one opportunity if you're a Patreon member and a member of the channel. The second thing we want to announce, Joe, did you want to talk about the top 10?
Yes. We're doing our classic end of the year, as a lot of channels do, top 10 action figures. Ours is a tiny bit different because it's not just us presenting them. Me and Dom sort of battle to see who's the winner is at the end, and we usually have a guest judge. And this year it is Adam from what's his channel? No, you grew up. Wait, is that right? Go figure.
Guess something canceled out of being insulted.
Yes, my brain's not turned on today. Adam from Go Figure is coming out as our judge, and on top of that, we're asking everybody to send us a picture of your favorite toy of the year. And instead of like toy news, like we would normally do, and have like an image of a toy up on the screen, and you can take a picture of yourself with your toy and just hold it up and be like, "This is my favorite toy right here," or whatever. Or you can just send a picture of your toy if you don't like to be on camera, which is fine. But we'll put some information in the description below, like what email address to send it to, or kind of what you need to tag it with, so we know what it is.
If you're already chatting if you already follow us on the IG, just go to IG, drop it there.
Yeah.
Say, hey, this is the figure, and this is my number one for the year, and we'll show it for the top 10. So I think,
and then we're gonna compile those together for next episode, for that episode rather, and that'll be on the 21st.
Yes.
Is that correct? So the 21st live stream will be the top 10. So you got a couple weeks. Send us some pictures of your favorite toy of the year, and we'll show them on the show. It'll be fun.
And
I
really
do believe Usagi was your guys' reigning champion from last year.
Oh yeah, reigning champion of last year was Usagi Yojimbo, still holding the trophy.
Man, yours still has his hat and cloak on. Mine is all scattered everywhere. In fact,
I usually take that stuff off to the side and delicately lay it down.
I'm
and then
terrified that string is going to snap on there.
So yeah, there you go. Yeah, I put them right back together like how he is in that picture every time.
Really quick, let's say hey to the chat. So we got Rad Galaxy. Rad, you guys are taking a break from World Makers Consortium for this month, am I right? Otherwise, I'll plug your show for tomorrow morning. Nebula's Nexus. Man, that's an awesome name. Steven, what's up, party people? Brick and Tire. Hey, man. Glad you joined us. Bob, always a pleasure to have you here. Bjorn, Schmebulak. Man, Bjorn, you are slipping, man. You make people really concerned if you're not in that top spot on there, too. So, and then we got Dale.
Yeah, it's not about you, Bjorn. It's about the other people that are worried about you. Okay? Get in there.
I know we got a few more from the other chats that are going to be joining us throughout the stream. So, I think we should just go ahead and Eric, you wanna talk about some toy news?
Yeah, we can talk about some news.
All right, want to do some news?
We got time.
It's news-ish. It's what you're getting over there, which we like to call news-ish.
That's news. Oh, Eric.
You're gone, Eric.
My hat was trapped.
Your hat's trapped.
Nice.
News channel. Oh, Channel 6 news.
Channel 6. It's official.
It's good.
So
good.
This isn't just some dumb hat because it can.
Oh, look at that!
Look at that!
You've got a twitchy ear syndrome.
We were in New York, and Finn, and these were like on the sides of the street, and Finn constantly, I want one of those hats. I'm like, man, you want junk everywhere all the time?
All the time.
And finally,
every kid.
I took Tristan to go to the bathroom, came back, and there's Finn with this hat on because Nicole had him. I was like, you let him suck you. Then he looks up at me and he goes,
weak.
Like this, and I started dying laughing. I was like, I didn't know it did that. And I was like, okay, this is great. And he has worn it every day since. So I'm like, okay, you win, man.
All right.
All right. So let's talk about some news while I sip my little tea.
All right, I've got some slightly older news, but it's because I want to talk to you guys. Eric, I know you made a video about this, but I want to know how in are you in this wave?
So I'm 50% in on this wave. I'm going to get the Rat King. I'm going to get the mic. And then hard pass on the Leo. And the Foot Soldier would probably be one of those situations. If it's like down to $25-$30, I might grab that guy.
I think, were you dogging the rapper Mike here and saying it wasn't as good as the other music ones?
So the Donatello is just so good. Like that's like one of the
that's
best
true. He is
looking
really
figures, and I don't know what it is. I feel like he just has a lot more pizzazz than him or the Leo have. They're not bad figures. Like I definitely like them. I mean, there's not a question that I'm going to get them, but that Donatello just set the bar really high, and it just seems like the other ones are just a little bit flatter than he is.
Joe, can you pull that picture up one second?
Sure.
Yeah. Now, Steven, that is called a boom box. See, back in the day, cool kids would walk around with that on their shoulders. It's like a big iPhone, Steven, if that helps you out. Okay.
Wait, does he not know?
Hey, what's up, Tim? I don't think so. Yeah.
On the flip side of that is some turntables.
Yes, which I didn't know when I made my video because I thought it was a bummer that he didn't have any turntables. But then once they started doing the 3D image, that's when I could see it. So
yeah, I'm 50% in as well, but not for Mike or Leo. I only got one Foot Soldier when those first came out, so I was like, I'll take a battle damage Foot Soldier. That's pretty cool. And of course, Rat King, because I mean it's Rat King. Yeah, you know. And he's
I also like,
how hard was that to do? Why couldn't they have just done that the first time?
I have no idea. I don't get it. That's what we're all buying this line for.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know. He does look like the Big Trouble in Little China hat. Also, I like seeing the proportions. Like the turtles are significantly shorter in that. You know what I mean? Like I like being able to see that with the scale, like they should be. So,
well, it's also that the human figures can, unbend their legs and stand up as well. So there's that.
Cool. All right. Well,
so that's old news.
I'm 0% in. So,
but I wanted to know what Eric thought about it because it's a big deal to what he collects, which is 99% turtles.
Pretty much, and at this point, it is literally just turtles and Spider-Man and X-Men Marvel Legends, and that's pretty much it. Whenever those Mega Man figures start coming out, I'm going to get in on that.
Yeah, those do look cool. Yeah.
Those Mega Mans do look awesome.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very excited for that line, which was teased like a year ago.
There were so many there were so many sales for TMNT for Black Friday. They were like $20 or $19.
Oh, it's been nuts lately. Super 7 just ran a sale on Big Bad Toy Store, and I mean, it was $18 for figures. Like, it was insane.
I didn't get Slash or those Mousers, so $20. I'm in.
Oh yeah.
So I grabbed those, and I was like, Mousers for $20? Yes.
Yeah, and I still didn't even go in on the Mousers because there's just so much stuff coming out right now. Like, it's a flood right now from all angles, and I mean, everything's on sale, so that's what gets me. Like, it's hard for me to turn down good deals.
That's what did it to me too. I was like, oh, do I really want these that much though? And there's a Kickstarter. The Morphonauts looks like it's gonna fund. If it didn't already fund, it was like 99%, and it's so I was like, well, that's gonna be $100 coming out of my pocket right there because I'm definitely getting 3 of those figures. So
the next game we're playing is how many Mythic Legions is Dom gonna buy? And obviously there's a lot of news tonight, so I just put this whole wave on one sheet. But Dom, how much of this are you buying?
All right, let me help you. Are we going to ask anybody to play along here? Because it's not fair if we do. Okay.
I was just going to play the game of making you say it out loud so I could.
Okay, go ahead. Put that back up, and I'll talk about this. I'll point to the ones that I'm getting.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess he's 100% in on this wave.
Let's put that 100% a little bit higher there. So I got all of those. Check. All right. Got it.
Yeah.
And then I got that scorpion dude to the top there in the corner. He's got a scorpion body and a tail coming off of him, and he's got this cool Mediterranean feel. So I got 3 of those. And then that bottom orc down there is kind of like a Chinese warrior orc. So I got 2 of those. And then the bears, I got.
Don't tell me.
I got 4 bears.
Wait.
I got.
Oh my god, you got
4 bears. Yeah. I needed cavalry. I wanted bear cavalry, like a whole section of just
4 bears.
Are the bears a bigger figure too?
Yeah, they're huge. They're like so.
4 bears
the can fit on top of them, and the bear can like.
Yeah, they can ride the bears, Eric.
I am so excited. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna get at least the bear clan people because they're just awesome, and a bear, of course. I might get the dwarves. I might throw the dwarves in there. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
depends
so
on.
I've been selling.
That wave is up until the 14th of January, so you don't have to decide until after the holidays. You have plenty of time to decide.
I've been selling on eBay like crazy.
Well, speaking of sales, there's one that I never thought I would see. Was Big Bad Toy Store was doing a Mythic Legion sale too. I don't think
they have some they have a lot in stock too. So it's like that could be like under your tree in time, kind of.
Yeah, but I mean, like some of the figures like $35. Like that's down near your neck.
So weird. That's what they cost when you get them. Like if you buy this wave right now, a regular figure is $37.99 on Mythics. On Store Horseman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's always when it goes to like BBTS or something that it jumps up to 50.
Well, because the only place I've ever seen them is Kokomo Toys and Collectibles. They have a huge wall of them. They sell them for $50. So I always figured that's what retail was.
The $50 is the secondary market value. If you buy them straight from them,
tell me more.
The Ross deals are insane.
Tell me more. I tried to look for that Viper pack for you, Joe.
$15 for 3 Vipers.
I couldn't find. I went to 2 Rosses. I'm like,
I saw it's on Amazon for $50 for 3 Vipers, which is actually not that bad. But like,
do you remember when the Viper first came out? Like how crazy that was. That was like the first figure I feel like that like sent.
If I saw those for $15, I'd buy like 4 of them. You know what I mean? Like that, I'd just be like, why not? I actually like the Troopers better in classified than the Vipers. The Vipers are really big and bulky and kind of clunky. The Troopers are more armored up than a dude in a blue shirt, like from the old school GI Joes. So like I kind of like how they look, and I'm like I kind of like the Troopers are fine for me, but I get it. The Vipers are cool. Don't get me wrong, but
I tried.
For some reason, I was kind of like I don't know if I want to army build these as much as I would have thought I would have wanted.
Yeah.
For $15, you have to army build them. Like you have to. Like that's.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. For $15, if I saw that, I'd heartbeat. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's enough of my insanity. Let's.
There is so now this is actual news. We got the Panda Bros. This is kind of up both your alleys and mine.
the bars. Have you, Eric? Have you seen these guys? By Fury Toys.
Yeah. So
Fury Planet.
I pre-ordered the
yeah,
like Usagi looking one, like the old man rabbit, and he's
so that's Yin.
Yeah. So
yes,
he's cool.
He keeps pushed back. So I haven't gotten any of these other figures, but everybody says like the Crocker's amazing. There's the what was it, the wolf guy, and then the tiger that's out right now too. And everybody seems to be very stoked on these figures.
Yeah, the pandas look awesome though. I mean,
these are the same guys who make the not Ninja Turtles that you have.
The not Ninja Turtles, yeah.
Well, hold on, no, okay. So this is.
It's not.
Their names are so similar. One of them's Fury Planet, and one of them's Fury Toys, but. The Turtles changed their name to something else, and I can't.
Oh, I noticed that. I know what you're talking about. What is it?
I thought it was the same company.
I know what
just
you're
like
talking about.
Flavor. They're the Four Seasons or whatever, right? The brothers are like.
The brothers are, but like because I saw Splinter and Donatello. Which one's up for sale right now? Donatello and
Splinter. Yeah.
So I saw that, and I was like, why does it say not Fury or whatever next to them?
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know if they changed name to differentiate because they were doing such similar things. Maybe
that's very possible.
That's confusing because like you can tell like the styles and everything. It makes sense that they be this.
They do look like similar toys.
These bears are big and the turtles are small. The turtles are almost in scale with 3 3/4. I mean, not 3, but almost 4 inch. Like they're pretty small.
Right. Yeah, I saw your video for the Not Leo one.
They changed it. So the Turtles and Splinter are Rage Toys now.
Rage Toys. That's what it's called
now.
Okay. All right. Well, so anyway, these pandas also very. I don't know how deep you went into the TMNT, but like PandaCon, right? So I was like, oh, this is kind of towards Eric's alley here. You can buy these individually, or you can buy them as a 2-pack. They're gigantic. I love it. Their story is interesting too. Like. It's Yin and this is Yang, and this is the more masculine energy. And they're both doctors in their own rights, but he's more of like break and mend things back together, whereas the other one's more like to acupuncture and herbal healing too. So I was like, well, that's
I thought the backstory was kind of cool. Yeah.
It is cool. You got the black and the white bear, the yin and the yang. Like it's
this one's chill, and this one's
well
like
thought out. And like, I mean, that's cool that they're doing stuff like that. They're not just building figures; they're putting a little bit of lore into it.
And
pretty cool.
Such personality from those. They're very pricey. Like I think the 2-pack is like $164, right? So they're really pricey. But like, man, I may go.
I mean, $80 for big, good figures. They have soft goods. They're painted well. Like, I mean, it's high quality crap.
I know, but I bought 4 bears, Eric. I already have 4 bears coming. These are 2 more bears. That's 6 bears. I gotta.
This is pretty fresh news. Pretty fresh.
It's pretty fresh. Pretty fresh, you kids.
Hey, Dom, we classically we talk about what we want to get, and sometimes that was announced today, and other times it was announced weeks ago. So I mean, it's pretty recent. You got some Warhammer from McFarlane that Dom's excited for.
It's a Terminator. It's gonna be massive. But all these went up by $10. So this is a bigger figure. It's now $50. And they have a Chaos dude who's $29. So it all went up to 10. I was like, oh man, that stinks, dude. But this guy, good lord. Wow. Yeah, there's the Chaos guy. I'm gonna get one of those because I have a bunch of the Chaos Reds. So this will be like the leader. But I'm probably going to pre-order 2, if not 3, of those Terminators because they are incredible.
The Terminator's already sold out on Big Bad. I saw that.
Yeah, I go straight to McFarlane. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're probably fine then.
Oh my god.
They look. I mean, you've got a big collection of these already, so I assume that you're.
Yeah, I stopped listening. I was just staring at the picture and peeing my pants.
You're very excited to add to your insane collection.
Yeah. Don't the bears need bears to ride? Bears riding bears.
Just gotta put those panda bears on the bears.
I've never played WoW, but I have seen the ads for that. In fact. The ads or images online, maybe you go click that. I was like, oh, this is WoW. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, Breaking Sire. So cool.
They look pretty cool, man.
Those Terminators.
Yeah.
Terminators.
Okay, we got to move on. I want to start talking.
Yeah, we got to move. All right, this is what we're gonna do.
This is gonna go down a rabbit hole for me. All right.
Now it's time for some GI Joe. These are all just announced. I'm gonna show them real fast because I'm buying them all. There's no mystery.
Yeah, and Eric, you're out of Classified, right?
I'm out. I'm officially out of Classified.
Same. Me and you. Yep.
I have
high five.
4 figures right now is all I have left.
I'm going to invite you. So we're going to do a classified stream and let Joe talk classified, but I'm going to invite you because you and I are the ones who are like, we like them, but we're out. So we'll be like the balancing to all the other fanatics we have on. So
yeah, because I mean,
good idea.
It's banging right now. Those retro figures look awesome.
Yes.
I know they do.
Look at that.
I know who
Rakondo.
looks really awesome is this guy right here.
No,
Oh, what a ridiculous character. I was thinking it's weird that he has 90-pound dumbbells. Like, why wouldn't you just make him 100? Why 90? What a weird number to put on him.
He's almost scary.
Listen, Power Builder. These guys make toys. They don't know what they're doing.
Also, the freaking Rakondo reminds me of that Australia or that Kiwi dude who does the voice for Grog on Thor. This joke's dead. Move on. Yeah.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah,
move
the
on.
guy.
Yeah.
You mean
Yeah,
Murray
he also-
from Flight of the Conchords?
Yes. Thank you for
Yeah.
reviving that joke. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Karate Kid. Very cool. Man, look at that.
I mean,
photo.
come on, he
Look
looks
at
awesome.
That cool cage fight.
Man,
I know. Look at it matches with the boa one. It's great.
Yeah, that is cool. I didn't see these promo pics. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh.
Techno
What's
Viper, I only got
experiment?
one of these because they've got another one coming out in red that comes with like a missile system. So I was like, that two Techno Vipers. is
Army
enough.
builders are out of control for this line right now. Like, it is
Yeah.
insane how many army builders they've pumped out in the last few months.
And I usually get two
Josh?
at least. Switch to Mezco Joe's. Oh, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think
Yeah.
somebody is already working on both.
Or do both.
Or do both. I kept that as Techno Viper apparently.
What is
Wait, Airborne's here. Airborne looks good.
No,
I know, but I mean,
yeah,
he's like
he looks great.
grunts,
His
like you
original
gotta have.
boring uniform. Yeah, I get it. Boring.
And then these are the two that I'm least excited for. Just Action Soldier and Action Sailor. They're cool. They come with a ton of gear, so I'm just like, well, I just buy it for all the gear they have, because it's. I mean, I buy weapons packs from Action Force for the same price, so why not have a figure with it?
Yeah, that is a lot
You
of stuff.
said that. You said that. Yeah, you said it wrong. It's Action Soldier.
Oh,
That's how you're supposed to say it.
sorry.
Yeah.
How silly of me. Anyway, those look awesome.
I'm surprised your least favorite about those because they're cool soldiers, but yeah, they're not.
Yeah, but like I want to
character.
army build dudes
Yeah.
with like I want to army build this guy. You know what I mean? Like this is what I want to army build. Like that's awesome. Little future, that's great. But like straight soldier, that's more of the Action Force style actually. So it depends on what you want. They are cool. I'm definitely gonna get a few of them. If they drop in price, I might get a couple more if I can grab them. But
I mean, I can't imagine they're not at this point. I don't feel like Hasbro's figured out how to lower their numbers for some reason.
Yeah, right.
yeah, they have.
Oh.
They have no idea
Speaking
what
of
they're
lower
doing.
numbers, I wanted to do a hot take here with Mythic Legion. So Eric, you pointed out that those went down to $35 in Big Bad, right? That's unheard of. Like, so I've been in since the
I've
first
never
Kickstarter.
seen Mythic Legion's figures go on sale.
It
since
looks like
I've
it's just
been
Big Bad selling some of their stock.
No. Hold on. So wait till what you got, and I'll show you. So I have been in since the first Kickstarter, and I don't want to like flex money, but I sold a KS1 figure a while back and was able to sell that one figure to buy an entire wave that was coming out, right? So like they hold this value. They're crazy how like these collectors want, and they don't really. Sometimes they re-release a type, but not always. It's a hit or miss. There's some that they never released again. But my prediction is that they have enough fan base and they're producing enough. I don't think they're ever going to hold that value again. I think I don't think so. Over. Yeah. I think these sales and this steady price, I think we're going to hit a norm of like, there's not going to be these outrageous, like $150 for a figure that just came out. Like, I don't think that's going to happen anymore. That's my hot take. So.
I mean, because I feel like what a lot of it was collecting got a huge influx of collectors, and now it's back to the normal just trickle in of collectors. I feel like that's just was a lot of people catching up. And I mean, I didn't discover Mythic Legions until a couple of years ago, maybe. So I definitely was a couple of years into collecting before they really caught my radar. And again, if I had my terrible sickness I had a few years ago, I might have got in on those right away when I first started collecting. So
just get one, Eric. See what happens.
Your terrible sickness.
See what happens. See what happens. Just get one.
It's just a little bit more on the credit card. It's not a big
I got one Mezco figure, and it's hard for me to stop looking at all.
Yeah.
Ones like Gambit that aren't even on the market anymore. So
nice.
Gambit, he's right down there.
Yeah, he's nice.
That's,
right,
I didn't want to drag out the news. It was just an observation and like a prediction. So we'll see. We'll see how it holds
way
up.
to drag out the news.
I definitely do, because I feel like I guarantee they're doing bigger runs than they used to do of figures as well. So I mean, I bet they're not at the point where they're cutting back either, which is why the sale is occurring right now. Probably.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I would
we're gonna
imagine
round
Big
up the
Bad
news
probably
tonight.
has to be their biggest distributor outside of themselves, far and away. So
Yeah, the biggest, because they've got a lot of ones that they allow to carry their licensed stuff that are, within the community, people know who they are. But you're right, Big Bad, I think, is their largest platform. I don't even think Entertainment Earth has Mythic Legions on there. So yeah, it's very narrow.
I've never looked for them on there, and I've never seen them like on the homepage. Now that I think about it, so
I weirdly don't check that site often enough.
Neither do I. I don't really. I'm kind of just like, I'm so lazy. I'm like, yeah, Big Bad. I don't care. Like that's.
I mean, I found Big Bad a million years ago, like probably around the same time. Entertainment Earth's been around probably as long. Who knows? But for some reason, I just kind of like that's where I go, and like that's
Big Bad's my
it.
preferred for sure. But Entertainment Earth once in a while will have better sales, and just depends.
It's your.
I mean, if I was smart, I would shop around a little bit before I.
Oh, you're a Walmart guy over Target. I get it. All right. I'm glad you guys can't smell me.
We're rounding out the news with something Eric cares about: The Last Ronin.
Yeah. So, speaking of which, oh man, Joe.
Wow.
So, one of your podcast episodes I did listen to is about The Last Ronin. And I don't know if we can be friends anymore, man. You'd be smirched.
Oh, wow.
My beloved book.
Besmirched.
Was it Ollie? Was Ollie trashing? I bet it was Ollie.
I think it was. I don't think it was for me, man. I think it was for IDW fans. I think it was for newer Turtle fans. Like it wasn't in my wheelhouse, I guess. For Turtle enjoyment. And I mean, out of the three of us on that podcast, by the way, I think I was the only one that did like it.
Oh yeah, you were definitely, I would say, the easiest on it.
Dang.
Guys,
they were like ripping it apart. I was like, guys, calm down. It's just a Turtles comic.
Which again, I can understand, but like, yeah, I feel like if you're not a Turtles fan, it's not going to hit the same way. And I don't feel like
I'm a Turtles fan in the sense of like I used to read the comics a million years ago, and like I watched the cartoon a lot. I had the toys when I was a kid, but like that kind of story matters more to me, I think, as like a younger reader. I think maybe I aged out of it, sort of like that Dark Knight Returns type story of like, you know what I mean? That kind of feel.
You probably read 50 times as many comics as I have in my life.
So for me, I'm just kind of like, this is by rote, like, you know, kind of thing. And it was fresh and interesting in a lot of ways, but at the same time, it was like, okay, you know, like I get it. Moving on, you know. So like I found myself really enjoying the backstories as they died, really more than the current story with Mikey. You know, kind of
flashback stuff. Yeah.
So like those parts of that part of it was great. Yeah. Oh, see, one was a banger. Quickly fell. That's kind of how I felt.
It started off strong, and it definitely did fizzle a little bit. Because like you said,
here's the thing, though. Like I think I said this on our show, but like
stop ganging up on Eric, everybody. Okay, gosh, let him. Jeez, toxic.
I'm not. No,
go ahead. No, I'm just gonna.
I think I said this on our show, but I think I could see why, like, for instance, someone like yourself who reads current Turtle comics, like, would love this. You know what I mean? Like that, I can see. It was just something that I was like, well, if this is your first Turtle comic, like, don't read this. You know? Kind of thing.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So like, it was very like it was a hard one for me to discuss, sort of, because I was like of two minds on it, but the other two guys were. My co-hosts were definitely not feeling it. Last Ronin. Let's get back to the toys of the Last Ronin.
Great, yes. So this is the only one that I didn't get out of these because they are doing a regular release, and it's at the point now where I can't be buying variants of everything because I just can't afford to. So it is cool that they're doing all the battle damage stuff, but I'm just gonna get the regular release wrap.
I feel you on that, but those arrows sticking out are awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. Cool, but again, like dude, there's just so much Turtle stuff, right? As you see in my opening stuff that's about my what you got. It's like it has been when NECA, like they just do this thing now where they just dump everything twice a year, and that's just how they do their releases. It feels like, and it's literally like. If you're caught up, it's going to be about $500. If you're not caught up, it's about $1,000. And crazy.
That's kind of weird.
strongly, politely disagree with you, Mustache Mayhem, but all right.
What?
So
it's still
but
better than what? 80% of what?
80%
New
of the comics
comics.
being published. Yeah. So where I'm a big new comic readers. But I haven't read Ronin yet, so I think I'm going to read it and start my own podcast. And but just like I'll pick a neutral ground. I won't appeal either way. I'll just be like, I read this comic, and that's
man. If anything, I was the neutral ground. They were just like,
yeah,
worst story ever. And I was like, whoa, calm down. But you know, Al, he hates everything.
No, that's what I was saying. I bet it was Al. Yeah. So
yeah, Eric, my co-host Al, is like, he's notoriously like hard to please. Let's put it that way. So like every time he's like, I didn't like it, we're like, oh, surprise, like, you know, kind of thing. Like, you know,
why do you read comics?
Surprise, you didn't like it. Anyway, and the link to that podcast is in the description below. Anyway, let's get back to the last Ronin toys. Splinter.
Yeah, I like this fat bottom Splinter. I really like those thick.
He's awesome, man. He looks great.
Yeah. This is a really, really, really cool Splinter.
I think it looks really awesome. I think it's hilarious how he seems less hunched over at his old age.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he could actually throw down in this version. I like it a lot. And I don't know. So I'll have one of them when we get to what you got. But the Ronin line, the IDW, or not the IDW line, but the Mirage line. Yeah. In the Archie line, like, I don't know what it is, but it just seems like NECA is just putting a lot of extra effort into the comic book figures for some reason.
I am not, and if you recommend them, I will go and pick up a couple titles from the shop, because I always swing by and grab random stuff. So if you recommend it, I'll grab some.
God, I can't. His name's slipping me right now, but the dude that did
Slipstream,
do a power bomb, and I can't think of what else he's doing. He's doing the Transformers run right now. What the heck is his name? I can't think of it.
Yeah, I'll come back to you. We're gonna move on. Daniel Warren is killing.
Yeah, there you go. Daniel
Warren Johnson is killing. There you go. Thanks for saving that dead airspace there, Mustache Man.
Last but not least, Leonardo.
There's more. Oh wow!
This is it. This is the third one.
Yeah, the NECA dropped a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
they did.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would have assumed this was like a one at a time type thing, because you have. I think your number one was that Ronin figure, right? Then there is a black and white version or a cover version.
Ronin figure, the armored one.
Right. So, and then here they are just laying it down, man.
Yeah,
I'm really happy that they're doing these characters. They're cool.
Yeah, they're very cool. Somebody said that his head looked like a gumdrop, though, and I can't unsee that now.
I was just going to say it looks like his head got compressed. It's like yeah.
I like that his sword sheath is just holes punched in his cloak.
Right.
Just stick these here. They won't cut their way out of there. They'll be fine.
Shink clang. What happened? I just keep poking holes.
I don't know. I tried to put my swords away. Holes got worn out, I guess.
Expecting it to stay. Yeah.
All right. Well,
thanks,
been
hitting the like button.
That's been news. That's been news for the week. News-ish. Actually, the G.I. Joe's is breaking news. You know, that was more than news-ish. It came out today.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the news, boys.
All right.
Look at that. I don't know what mine is right now.
And Space Usagi from NECA. Really, your favorite one, Brian? That's awesome. I am a huge...
They've got NECA announced that 4-pack of Usagis.
Yeah, I saw.
that. Yeah,
Eric
that thing is. Yeah, that is very, very cool. Because you get like the real,
mean, especially if you missed out on some of those.
No,
yeah,
no. News is over. The news is over.
It's usually Joe
we're going
to
talk about. We're going to talk about something that has been taboo for the longest time, and it's the fact that my right leg undies always ride up. Like every time I wear boxers, the right leg slides up.
Hey, Don, there's no time to talk about that.
Understand why that happens, but like right now, I'm constantly adjusting it. But we're going to talk about some Marvel Legends trading cards. So,
we have time for that.
We do. This is big to me, Eric. Why are these trading cards? Because you've been a fan of me talking about them for like the longest time. In fact, I came on your show and you're like, Marvel cards. I'm like, yeah. Why are you so excited about this? What did these mean to you?
So the Marvel trading cards was kind of actually my first introduction into a lot of Marvel characters, including the X-Men. So like I was familiar with like Spider-Man and Captain America, like all kids are and stuff like that. But once like it was right before the X-Men animated series came out, and right before the toy line hit, I feel like is when I kind of discovered this stuff. And then it was like almost a perfect storm that the cards carried me into the cartoon, into the Toy Biz line. And that was like the two big loves of my childhood was my Turtles phase and then my X-Men phase. And that was like big that something got me away from Turtles like that. And I felt like when I got into X-Men, like, because my neighbor Josh, he was a few years older than me, and he's the kind of he was the person that introduced me to all this stuff. And like, I felt like once I got into the X-Men, I was into like big kid stuff. Like after that, like Turtles seemed like little kid stuff to me, and like it was just a very pivotal point in my life, I feel like. And I was 5 or 6 at this time, for the record. So
okay, yeah. So it was similar for me, right? Like I didn't have a lot of comic books, but back then comic books were in spin racks and grocery store stands, and like they were just like flooded everywhere. You know, like you look at the number of issues that were printed then compared to now, and there are fewer titles, so you would pump out more of a certain title, right? And then yes, they did the full stream marketing. They tried with animated, they tried with toys, and then cards, but like the cards really stuck. And for me, not being able to read all the comic books, I discovered characters in like forbidden, like my mom thought the X-Men were too violent. And now when I like go back and look, I'm like, yeah, maybe the Jim Lee one's kind of borderline. Like you know, that's when the females started wearing less and less clothes. I'm like, okay, yeah, but I like you look back at like what's his name? Chris Claremont. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like this is tame. But anyways, back then, you know, mutants, violence or whatever. So that was my way of being able to like know who Wolverine was. So yeah, it was that multiverse before the Marvel movies came out. And here you go. This is probably so. What was your lines that cards that stuck? Because you showed me the art book from this series.
Yep. So and again, I don't. When you were going through your tour video and you were like, or no, sorry, it was that one card video you did. You were talking about all the series and stuff like that. Like, I can't remember like which came in which order. Like, was that series the Jim Lee ones? Did that come before or after the set that came with like? I
remember that. Yeah.
The 9 when you get all 9 cards, it makes one picture.
Oh, yeah.
What series is that?
That's this one here, yeah.
Yeah, this one I remember a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Joe, were you like everybody else and you just like stumbled upon and maybe you had a couple in a drawer or something, you know what I mean? Like
no, I had a decent amount of them. I just wouldn't go crazy with it. Like usually if I was in the comic shop and it was like between getting another comic and getting another pack of cards, I chose a comic. You know, so like,
yeah,
you know, it just wasn't something that I dove into super deep. Like, I liked it in sort of those encyclopedic ways, like you were kind of mentioning, like finding characters that I didn't really read comics about, because sometimes there'd be like deep cut cards of like random people that you're like, who? You know, kind of thing, and that would be interesting.
That's what Multiverse is referencing right here. Those saga issues where it had like the profile of the character, like side, front, back, and then like a whole bio breakdown. Yeah,
because that is another thing that I like too, because I didn't know who was like a popular character and who was obscure at the time either. You know what I mean? So as I actually started reading comics, and I'm like, some of these characters literally like never appear.
I found them as useful to like fill in back kind of thing. Like there's a large breadth of X-Men comics, like years and years and years of comics to like, if you don't have had read all of it, or you didn't have an older brother like me who was kind of telling you about it, you might not know like what the story arcs were or what they really went through. So flipping over the back of the card and actually reading about them was like kind of interesting, because like, I didn't know he knew them or they were married to this person, or, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway,
like what was the set before you were showing?
Well, we all remember this guy clearly. And then here's this.
Okay,
this
so
very 90s.
Like he is a very, very like moment in time character, but like this was my moment in time. You know what I mean? Like when I saw comics on the spinner racks as a kid, it was like right around here, like X-Men 30 or whatever it was. I think was around the time he appeared. X-Men Volume 2, number 30.
Yeah. Joe, I want you to draw me a 90s villain from the X-Men. Oh, wait, never mind. This guy is the epitome of it. Got it. Like,
He's got the backwards hat. I mean, I'm
backwards
surprised
hat,
he's not wearing a
braids
flannel.
in the hair. Yeah. Braids in the hair. Like, even like the bro soul patch that gets everything.
Yep.
Man.
Oh, man.
He's just
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
90s.
He is
Beautiful.
extreme, and he's an extreme with an X2, of course. So, yeah. Okay, so you want to see this series here.
Yeah, so that is what I liked about this series is it had like all the background stuff, it had their strength stats and stuff like that.
Yes.
And then but I really like the art of like the masterpiece stuff and the Flare Ultra stuff. Like I don't know, like that those are the 3 sets that I remember. Is this one the one where the 9 cards made the thing? Because that's what I had the binder.
Yep.
That's what I had a lot of them was like the like what is it called when you have 9 cards that make one picture? Does it have a specific name?
It does, and I'm completely blanking on it right now. It's not a 2-page spread. I don't remember. Yeah, so whatever.
Yeah.
Moving on.
But the Flare Ultra cards, like the masterpiece cards or whatever they are, the 2 that I was going to ask you if you had, they're my 2 favorite cards, are the Wolverine crippled and the Cable crippled cards.
Crippled? Huh. All right. From what series?
What was the Adam Extreme one?
Oh, geez. Okay, that is.
I'm pretty sure it's from this series.
Okay. All right. So I don't have. So
Extreme.
So
Extreme.
it'll have,
You know, for a
Magneto
90s character, there's not a lot of pouches on there. You know.
I expect bigger shoulder. He's got the shoulder pads at least. Okay. All right. So
yeah, he needs more pouches. He needs thigh straps with pouches. Goodness, Batman.
Oh man. Oh, here we go. So let me get my toy cam actually working here. Hold on.
Because again, I knew you had a lot of cards, but when you started flipping through all your cards, I'm pretty sure you have all the cards.
I have a good amount. Yes, these are all my binders.
Oh
here,
man,
right?
look at that.
Yeah, so those are all of them. So okay, so I had to be prepared because I didn't know what you were gonna pull out here, right? So I was like, oh, let's see. Okay, so X-Men. Yep. Okay, here we go. So I started doing this too, so I could here. Let me put me on solo, Joe. All right, here we go. So I just got these like cheap binders that have like a plastic thing, and I shove the extras in here so I know what's inside the binders, right? Eventually, I'll start leveling up and getting like, so this one, this is original. Like I got this at Toys R Us, and when the metal came out, I was like, oh, cool. It was like $10 or whatever it was back then. I looked them up recently, and it's like $300. I'm like, what? Not this one, because this is banged all to hell. Like, it is just terrible. But I was like, I'm definitely not trying to go back and hunt those again. All right, so here's the X-Men. So you're saying, so here I've got the series 1 up here, the series 2. So you're saying, and then there's this weird, very, very extreme series here. So you're saying it's Cable crippled. Man.
Yeah, so Magneto's in the background and he's pulling all the metal out of him, and there's a Wolverine card like that too, and they're like they're like holographic kind of a little bit, I feel like, or it
like
might
Executioner song time.
Yes.
It was yes. So man,
like I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Like they were my favorite 2 cards when I was a kid, and that's what I liked about this stuff. There's also the set that would say like deceased over some characters, you know what I mean? And like that would just always
fatal attractions, right? So fatal attractions. We're spawning Executioner's Extinction Agenda.
Executioner's song is on Cable and Strife.
Yep. So there's
that's when Wolverine got crippled, was during that one.
And then you said Cable. So what was happening with Cable?
I feel like the Cable was just Magneto's face in the background.
You're not giving me a lot to go off there. Yeah.
Cable and Magneto's face in the background.
Like, yep, no, I don't know, man.
It's one of those things like when you're flipping through things, there's more stuff that I've forgotten than I can remember for sure.
I'm sure it's in there, but so I've got like here's Cable versus Strife in here too. I don't see when I don't remember him being wounded like that either, though, during these storylines.
I don't think it ever actually happened in the comic. I think it was just a card. I could be wrong.
Huh.
Well, that sounds highly unlikely.
I do have all the swimsuit ones that they did too.
Oh.
that was weird, right? That was kind of, and these were single
moving
issues,
around
they
so
weren't even
dumb. We
stories.
can't see them when you move them around so
sorry.
fast.
Okay, well,
Just hold it up and leave it still.
is that good?
Yeah, that's better.
No. Yeah.
Well, show me the other page. Interesting. Iceman at the beach is a funny concept.
Right?
It wasn't even an issue, or it wasn't like part of a story. They just made a single comic book with no words, and it was just the X-Men sexually exploited at the beach. Like it was weird. And then they made cards for them. I'm like, this makes me uncomfortable as a 13-year-old boy too. So like, but yeah, so yeah, Don, listen to Joe. So for me,
I was
like
thinking of 94 Fleer Ultra Foil card of Wolverine.
I know they existed.
94
Look at that.
Fleer. Okay, wait, hold on. All right, Fleer. So that's
No, let's see
X-Men.
Dom's
Brother buddy
stack
Josh,
of stuff
He's
here.
the person that would have,
Okay.
between us, we had these cards.
94
Oh, this is your old
Fleer.
school friend then. All
Yeah,
right,
this
so
was my
Fleer
neighbor growing
Flare. So this was a weird. I feel uncomfortable having this as the cover of here too. I'm gonna leave it,
I meant
man.
to-
He's
I'm
up
sorry.
there. Mhm, yeah.
Is that Gambit?
It's a
No,
it's no, that's
Namor.
Namor. It's a statement
Namor?
to walk
Oh.
around with this in a binder and just be like, "Hey, what's up? Yeah, what are you guys?"
At
talking
least
about?"
that's yeah. What are you guys talking about? This is fine.
Mhm.
It's totally normal.
Yeah. So anyways,
Wait, Skip
this
said
is
the end cable destroyed.
I don't know
Huh.
cable destroyed though. So you said Fleer. Okay, so
He said 94
Fleer
Ultra
Fleer
Foil,
was-
Fleer Ultra Foil card of Wolverine crippled.
All right, hold on. I admittedly don't have all the holograms and cards, but Fleer Flare. So there's Fleer and there's Fleer Flare,
There's
and now
Fleer and there's
my
Flare.
F's are
There's Fleer. There's Fleer Flare. There's Fleer Flare.
But Flare was
foil.
so pretentious that they came not in single card packs, they came in a box. Like each pack was a box that you would take the lid off, and then the cards were inside the box. It was so just like it was astronomical. Okay, I got
Barely remember that.
masterpieces here. I've got masterpieces all the way to 2000. Yeah, they were really expensive back then too. All right, talk about. Oh, man, I got all modern. Hold on.
I must have had a lot of that initial run you were talking about with the pink borders and stuff like that. I
Mhm,
think I
that was
must
the
have had a
first
binder of them, which is weird because I don't
Those
remember
and-
getting that many. But
So that because I can't remember, the Jim Lee run started coming with X-Men figures too, because Toy Biz started throwing in cards with their figures for a while.
yeah, well, that's why I think that's why I recognize that Nightcrawler one Don put
Yep.
up on the screen. That came with a figure, right? That came with a toy. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. My memory is very hazy about these cards.
Don't know if I have that one. Cable destroyed. This is going to bother me for months. Joe, did you find an image of it on the internet and pull it up?
I can, sure. I can try.
I hate this game. I hate that I'm losing this game. Thanks a lot, Eric. Put me on the spot. You jerk.
I don't know. You just seem like the
Calm
kind of
down.
person to be like, "Oh yeah, I know exactly where that is."
Well, so to be honest,
Thousands
like
and
there
thousands
was
and thousands of cards you have.
There was a lot.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
I've
So
got-
I didn't get any Spider-Man, McFarlane, because there was tons and tons of series out there, right? So I was like,
Yep.
nope, Marvel Universe, Marvel Masterpiece, and then when the Flare and Fleers and that stuff kind of came out, that's where I started stretching to. But you know, you got to it's just like action figures now at that point. It was like, good Lord, how many more series? My absolute favorite though of any of these is the Hildebrandt brothers, and it is they're so gorgeous, and they have all these colors, and like
Oh, yeah, that's
every
that's
single
awesome.
card has like some sort of shine or sunspot or reflection to like make it pop, and all the colors are just bold and painted and they're gorgeous. They're so good. I actually don't have them on my binder. I put them all on a piece of plywood, and like I made the plywood and like whatever, made it look nice, and they're all on the wall. I love that series so much that I didn't want them to be stuck in a binder. I had to be able to see them. So like I'll walk down and be like, like I'll literally just like, what? These cards are so good. Like I just really appreciate the art of them. So
I mean, it is crazy how good they are, and that it is some of the best comic book art, and it's not even in comic books. Like that's another thing that I love about the cards. It's like so many of my memories of what characters look like come from their cards as opposed to the actual comics. Because I mean, when I was a kid, I was lucky enough to get a comic maybe once a month at the grocery store because I was like, can I get this? Can I get this? You know what I mean? So but my cards I looked at all the time.
Is this it?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Oh, I don't remember that. His face is in the background. I didn't even see that at first.
I told you, I'm not insane. I knew it. I knew it existed.
I knew it existed.
To be fair, that is a good description. I thought you was like Magneto's face in the background. I'm like, yeah, thanks, Eric. He's the background. No, this is Magneto's face as the background.
As the background, yeah.
And no, I don't have any of those foil ones. I'm surprised I don't have just like a basic one of those too, but nope, you got me. I have that series, and I do not have that card. So I'm gonna go commit seppuku and kill myself in dishonor.
Get out of here.
That's the only option. With a stack of Marvel cards, just like
yeah, it's 1,000 paper cuts. Just keep going.
Oh man, but we talked about
not enough blood loss,
Eric. One of the biggest appeals I made a video that actually it was 25 minutes long and I never released it, but it's me going through very fast each series and why I liked each series specifically. Like, just like, hey, series 1 had this and series 2 had this. But the biggest thing, and you said this too, for me, was the stats. As soon as they started doing stats, this ended all schoolyard arguments about who was stronger than whom, right? Except they didn't.
I wouldn't always agree with them.
There's exactly.
Some that I feel like are way off.
Well, keep watching my videos that I'm putting out, and I will. Yes, that's exactly like Invisible Woman had a fighting ability of 4, and Doctor Doom had 3. I was like, no.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
What is it? See, that's the point. Like, what are they factoring in to get that? Also, like, these are great overall stats for Scott Summers, but none of this references how he can shoot giant optic blasts out of his eyes.
Exactly. So in Series 3, and I don't have one for example here, but Series 3, they did start doing the actual so for this one, Professor X's energy projection and fighting ability. So all of a sudden you've got Scott Summers like up to a 5 with energy projection and then a 4 for fighting ability. You're like, oh, that makes sense, right?
Which it should be low because Storm kicked his butt without any powers, so
but exactly right. And that's what oh man, here we go. Yep.
Which should be low.
But if you didn't know who Professor X was, and like they didn't make a Series 2 card of him, but there's no energy projection, his stats would be like 1 and like -1 because he's no speed for him, right? So you wouldn't know who this character was. So
his speed, if he's going downhill, it's really high.
The wheelchair has a good speed of but the hover car, and that's like, so Series 3 came out, and then we would come back because it came out the same year I was in 3rd grade. So we had everyone was like in my fanny pack. No shame, I had a fanny pack and a mullet in Texas, and I'll own that the day I die. Riding around on my Huffy bicycle, whipping out cards like a cool kid. Like I would screech my brakes and like unzip and pull out my cards. Someone else was like, oh yeah. And it's like, I got the Ghost Rider, It's like, oh man, so.
And then you had your Pokemon fight in the.
So I remember distinctly arguing about Bing Bang Boom because I'd never heard of him before, and I was like, no, that's impossible, Galactus. And someone whipped out Bing Bang Boom. I was like, what? A dragon? That's not fair. And like we got an argument, but like his stats were like maxed out, so we assumed Bing Bang Boom must be the biggest thing in Marvel Universe. Like there is nothing.
Okay, so I've never seen that card. What are the stats even then? Because I've never seen that either.
I'd love to know what you're talking about.
Thanos had one of the highest stat, and I think Phoenix had one of the highest stat total.
Well, Phoenix, come on, you gotta. Also, you're thinking of a photo montage.
All right, so let's take a little gander here. So, Fin Fang Foom, drop. I'm gonna drop this out of here. Yeah, thanks. Okay, all right. So here we go. Let's light up that score. But look at those bars just stretching across there, right? So that top bar there is strength, stamina, and durability. So that's what he's racking there 7. So basically, he's super strong, He's impossible to destroy, and he can go endlessly. So you're like, what? There's no contest. Like I remember the argues, like the thing. I'm like, no, he's got a 7 durability. He is impossible to destroy. Like, yep. And that's that's where the arguments came from, or came with, right? So you said Phoenix. Let's take a look at the Phoenix. No, incorrect. She doesn't have a single 7 on there. They max out at 6 with speed, stamina, and durability.
Wait.
Again,
Phoenix with Phoenix power?
That's correct.
Oh,
Is that
well,
Rachel Summers'
no,
Phoenix,
that's
though?
Rachel Summers. We're talking about Jean Grey with Phoenix.
What do you want me to say, man? Yeah, you want to see Jean Grey? Okay, here's Jean Grey. Marvel Girl.
No,
right?
not Marvel
No,
Girl.
you're talking about
the Phoenix.
You're talking about Dark
And
Phoenix.
also,
Dark
the series,
Phoenix.
No, she has the Phoenix Force when she's
the
not.
series that I'm
evil
talking about
sometimes.
too is the one that has 4 sets of numbers 1 through 7. That was always because I think it was the newest one I had at the time, so that was always my definitive strength stats one.
I loved that series because they cherry picked only the best qualities for that card to capture on there, and I think that is genius. Rather, here I've got it right here. Why don't we take a look at it and bore the rest of this crap?
I mean, I was gonna ask.
Yep. So let's look at well, we already did Silver Surfer, right? So let's look at Galactus here, for example. So Galactus pulling up, he's got 7 strength, 7 speed, mental powers, and energy projection, right? So man, the glare on this is terrible. It's not the media for it.
Yeah, so he's way up there
Yep.
too.
All right.
7757.
Exactly. So, but instead, and you get the cool bar chart here going up and down to see it, and that's fun to visually be able to see.
Well, let me
it,
see
but I
the
love
front.
that they
Show me the front too.
So, well,
robbing me of the artwork.
Well, the art in this series, but not the best. But also, this series is wonky because you didn't get an individual per se. You got what Eric was describing.
Yeah. This is that series.
Little montage.
This was the first one I ever got into, actually. So maybe this wasn't the newest one I had. This was the first set that I started getting into.
I don't know what you would call 9 unless it's just a montage, but like a
I
2
can't-
is a
I can't
diptych and
remember.
3 is a triptych. I can tell you that.
I did-
from art school.
I didn't.
9? I don't know.
Yeah, see, so like I don't remember because there's something in the lingo where they're like, oh, they made a blah with that. I was like, I didn't know that was a word. But I'm thinking, so yeah, a lot of weirdos here. Like nobody remembers who this guy is. Like Moses Magnum, right? Or
and there's someone like Siege in there. He's in one of the sets. I don't know who the heck is Siege. I don't know who that is. Like there's all these random characters that were like
90s nobodies.
A couple issues at this time, and I don't know who they are.
Well, they're trying to like surge with new heroes all the time, right? And a way to influence that was with the cards. You see the cards like, oh, this guy must be amazing. Like Death's Head, how cool. Death's Head is not that cool. So I don't think it's a collage mustache mayhem. I don't think so. It's going to drive me nuts, much like not owning that one card, which, oh, you bet I'm going on eBay when the show's done. You absolutely bet.
So the card collecting is not done for you then.
Oh, what?
No.
I have.
Lord, no.
So I
mean, I know you're collecting the modern stuff, but are you still going after old school stuff too?
Yeah. So this is the moderns, right? So like once I found that like, oh, they're still making these, this was, Marvel Now when that came out in like 2015, they were trying to like make it more diverse and more modernized. Like that's when Miss Marvel came out and was big, and Amadeus Cho, like they were trying to add diversity to it, so they pumped out another card line for that. I liked Marvel Now. It's when the X-Men kids came back from the past, whatever, and then they started making, I don't know, they had like this weird, there's silver around it. I don't really like that. The same reason I don't like the first series. It's like a weird border. Like stop doing all extra in your borders. But then they started kind of standardize it with annuals. And the reason why I love the annuals is because it's literally a snapshot of everything that happened that year. So when Captain America went bad, they talked about that. When Thor and Asgard went to war, like they talked about that. So each of these annuals is like, here's what happened this year, and here's what the heroes look like with their current costumes. And we're not trying to like repurpose 90s X-Men. It's like, this is what happened this year. And I was like, I love that because I read the comics now. So for me, it's like, oh, this is my current snapshot. Like here's little Brood in there, right?
I like that idea. I like the idea of a little current snapshot of like what's kind of going on in the comics right now.
And unlike the past issues, like
5 together is Exodia.
That's the artist that actually worked on the comic book of Thor at the time.
Dom likes
I'm
toys
like,
that are
yeah, I
older than
remember
me.
that. How did you decide to organize them, Steven? These are unlike action figures. These all have numbers on them. Like, this is taken care of for me. I don't have to think about.
Yeah,
this,
you don't have to work on that.
Yeah,
because that's the nice thing about the sleeves is you can count out and skip past the
Yeah,
ones you
yeah,
don't
yeah.
have.
Oh, yeah, that was the best. Yeah, that's true.
satisfying
You've
when
been
you get
missing
the
number
shit
8. You know, yeah.
Yeah, so I stopped for the longest time, didn't know they were still in existence, and I was like, oh, I wonder. So like, this was me. This is the few times I ever get nostalgic. I'm like, I wonder what happened to. And then I found out like you've been producing these.
Their overhead
like,
must not exist. You know, like they have
No,
the presses, they have the card stock. Like they're just like
they are niche, much like Acid World toys are. Acid Rain World toys are. Cards are to collectors, right? So they are very niche and very expensive. And the games you play to get a box, you buy a box of like 6 packs. Each pack has 4 cards, and a box costs $80. I'm like, what? And then each pack has like, well, this is the blue one, and that's the hologram one, and this is the bent in half one, right? So I'm like, what is this garbage? Like, I just want the base set. So I don't buy boxes anymore.
Skipray said, I always coveted the 3D lenticular hologram cards and the clear suspended animation cards. They were the holy grail. Oh, the clear suspended animation cards are awesome.
I forgot about those.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I'm remembering all of this stuff as you're bringing it up.
Oh,
I'm like,
I remember.
It's almost like I should have given you time to talk about this earlier.
Well, I know not everybody cares about this, but like, so holograms are awesome. I still love.
I feel like they were a huge staple of the '90s. Exactly. I mean, they were in glasses. They were on everything. Like,
they're so cool still, though. Like, I showed my kids.
Every issue of every comic had a variant cover with a lenticular or a hologram.
Right.
What was it?
So here
was
it? Keep going.
Did we talk
Run
about
on X-Men?
What was
Executioner song?
Yeah, that had like the hologram cards attached to the
Fatal
comics.
Attraction.
Yeah.
That was Fatal Attraction, was it? Yeah.
Was that Fatal Attractions?
Because Executioner
had like bars going down the sides. I thought they were hologram though.
It's Fatal Attraction. It's Fatal Attraction.
No, this is
because I literally.
Oh, that has literally a card on it. I thought you were just talking about hologram cover.
Nope. Yep. Yeah, that was a good place to cut that one. That looks awesome.
Yeah, I like that one. So anyway, so here's
my heart comics, though, Dom. I am one of those people.
But they were 50 cents, and like I had 5 of those. So I'm like, what am I? You know what I mean? What am I gonna do? Right? Absolutely play it off gimmick comics. So you know what? I still cannot pass up an all foil cover. When I see that, I'm like, oh, look at that all foil! Like that, like man,
they got me. I was the mark for that stuff. I still am.
Oh, those are cool, man. Those are cool. Wait, say those again, Dom.
But yeah, so now hold on, because they're not as clear as you may remember, because turns out these yellow with time.
Oh,
so they're
wow.
Yeah. And it's not like these were laying outside in the sun, but like, yeah, they're kind of gross. And then weird. Retro redid them later on too. So there's some cool new version, like 2015, they redid the same style. So it's kind of fun. They're not yellow. And I did side by side. I'm like, oh, gross. I want to get some like Windex on these or something. So, yeah, but this series, that series right there is when I think Marvel just started, or what is this, Topps or whomever, Upper Deck, got super greedy. Because usually it was just 5 holograms or maybe some foils or whatever. But they had metal, right? So like a foil. They had red. They had holograms. Hold on. That's not all, folks. Then they had more foil, which was like, and these weren't replicas of the same cards you get in the set. They were extra. Then they had the clear ones. Then they had these stupid, like, look at this wonderful technology here with the giant micro. I don't even know what's going on here. Like, that's so like, oh, this is futuristic, right? Like, so they put a real picture with the drawing in front of it too, right? So like,
okay,
so many chases.
Get it, because he's Iron Man and there's a microchip.
Yeah, and here's a cool Fatal Attractions full spreads there. So yeah. Oh, the medals. Yep. Okay, I used to take my bike and go buy packs at a store, like go buy a pack and like rip them open, trade with your friends, or just keep the duplicates because it's cool. But you generally could get a series just from buying packs alone and not kill yourself. But then, they started just expanding more and more. So I would just buy a box. And then by buying a box, you definitely get a set, maybe not all the chases, and you have a ton of leftovers, right? And I wasn't trading at that point anymore. I just wanted the cards. But then it got to metal, and I remember buying a box, and metal was kind of cool. Here, I'll take these ones out because they were all foil. Like they all had the shine, right?
Yeah.
So they all had this.
Yeah,
that's why they were called metal.
This is where I had shifted to collecting basketball cards over Marvel cards, and I remember the metal cards were always a couple more dollars per pack than the other cards were. In general.
Dom finally gets to. Thank you, Fam. Also, Famine has been dropping some really great videos lately, just random live streams. Like, hey, I'm gonna make a portal, and I'm like, why did you do a live stream? I want to watch a regular video so I can like go back and like say that and show it. But he's just out there live showing his craft and asking questions. So I've really been enjoying this.
I think for the most part, it's interesting, Don, that you like traded with friends and stuff. I think I did a little bit, but like for me with two brothers, it was just like we'd open up a pack in the car and be like, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Here you go. And then like by the end, you're just like, and I got all new cards. And obviously there's doubles and doubles and doubles at that point. Sometimes, but for the most part, we would just like sift through the packs we just bought and kind of trade them around the three of us, and we'd just be like, we're all satisfied. Great. Every once in a while you get like the special one and you'd be like, this is mine. No.
Right.
And now with eBay, you can go and like, I'll go and buy a card added, right? But back then there was no eBay, and like the two cards I absolutely needed, and it took me years later to get, I was buying boxes yet, was one of these, right? So this actually breaks down like, hey, this is the strength and this is the stamina. So it shows you like what each one actually means, and then kind of a representative of what those are for like Aunt May is on like so many of these. It's ridiculous, right? But like one of these I had to get for some reason I couldn't get it. She's on like 3 of them. I'm like, why?
Let's just every time we need a normal human represented, let's put Aunt May.
Aunt May.
I remember distinctly
everyone loves Aunt May, right?
Like everyone remembers 9/11. Well, I remember where they were on 9/11. I remember when I got my Ghost Rider card and I traded him for $15 in the boys' bathroom because I didn't want anyone to see us, right? So I was like, I got $15. He's like, well, I'll give it to you. And it even had a stain on it. I didn't care because it was the last card it needed to finish Series 2. And I
feel like that's a lot of money for that time.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. People are buying drugs like for that.
He saved his lunch money for 3 weeks,
but it was the last one I needed. And he was such a tool. He knew I wanted it so bad too. And I was like, man, I almost went R for that joke.
What was his name, Dom? We can hunt him down. We can hunt him down.
Greg. No, I like not even joking. I remember exactly who this little turd was. I'm like, oh, you. So, but anyways, yep. That's so I did a video that was 25 minutes long, just going through each binder and be like, hey, this was within this series. This is when it came out. This is why it was unique compared to the others. This was cool about it. Next. And I went through that.
Why don't you split them into like each series and just say, this is what I like about series 1.
Patreon that you have.
And then this is what I like about series 2.
For you.
Sorry,
so
Eric,
actually,
we were talking at the same time.
Go ahead, Eric. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say you could just throw it up on your Patreon too. I mean,
Oh yeah, there you go.
So for most Patreons, I early release the videos, right? I haven't done any exclusive videos yet, and I want to actually pull that and be like, what do you guys want to see that's specific for Patreon or members, right? I don't think people are gonna want to have a 25-minute video about me exploring that. Like I also felt like it was self-indulgence. Like I was like, I just feel like this is for me. I don't know. So
I know, it's just extra. It doesn't matter. It's just extra.
Exactly. It is just extra, and it's already made. It already exists. All you got to do is upload it. And then
that being said, break them into 7 parts and release them on YouTube.
There you go.
I feel like if you're gonna watch something like that, you're gonna sit through the.
I feel like Eric and Joe have figured this out for you.
I feel like I just want the extra, or the Marvel content. I know maybe not everybody does, but I want it, Tom. I want it. Give it to me.
Well, help me out with those other ones that I'm doing.
I want the content.
Marvel trading cards.
Every time Dom puts up a new video of Marvel cards, Eric's like, ooh. Tickle these card videos.
He walks into an office, guys. Did you see the new content? Like, Eric.
Eric from
Oh,
No
here
You
comes
Grow Up,
Eric,
everybody.
tickle fingers.
Anyways, loves tickling those cards.
The 7-minute ones or the 8-minute ones are the ones that I'm putting my energy into, because one, they're every card, and I like say a little blurb about them and push it out, right? So I don't want to like belabor the point for anyone who's watching them. I try to keep them very funny and visual, like moving the cards around or expanding the view. So I'm like, here, this makes me feel less guilty talking about this passion. So at least it's visually and entertaining, right? Like your ear grapes will enjoy it as well as your eyeballs. So, but yeah. That's all I got to talk about Marvel trailers and trading cards, unless we have 5 more hours, and then.
No, we're out of time. Actually, we don't have any more time to talk about Marvel cards. Sorry. Let's get back to pieces of plastic that are articulated instead of flat pieces of cardboard.
No, not
Eric,
really.
Did you have any final thoughts?
I just wanted to see if you had those 2 very specific cards. Now you have to go spend more money.
Thanks for challenging me on that. Yeah.
Actually, I'm really glad you showed that one picture of that Nightcrawler card with the white border, because I was like, oh, I kind of want.
I picked that one. I figured,
yeah, I mean,
I figured you had that one.
I did, yeah.
And that's why I do want to see the card content, because, like I said, there's more that I've forgotten that I remember, and I mean, it is one of those things that just hits me super hard. I don't know what it is, but like. Yeah. I mean, you just showed a couple cards that I haven't seen in 20 some years, and I've had goosebumps like 10 times just looking at that crap.
Well, I'm not going to stop in those. They don't do well. We already talked about this before this. They don't do well, but I'm not going to stop because I enjoy it too. And like, I like pairing the Legends figures with them. And actually, Joe, that Nightcrawler came with the old Toy Biz Nightcrawler. Like,
yeah, that's what I was going to say. It came with the toy, right?
Earlier,
yeah. So those are going to keep coming. I did the Fantastic Four first because they're fun and whatever, and they're also kind of goofy to make fun of. So, and there's tons and tons and tons of X-Men. So I'm going to keep.
Well, we were just complimenting you before the show, but the Doctor Doom video is great.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Go check that. If you guys have not seen that video,
go watch Dom's second love of not toys but comic related materials of cardboard pieces of of art that he puts in binders.
I try to make it so everyone at least enjoy it, right? At least you should laugh in that video. At the very least, if you're like, I don't care about cards, but this is pretty funny. Like, that's what I'm going for. So
yeah.
I mean, cool. I feel like you get it every time. Like, you're one of the few people who's it's seldomly ever. I don't think I've ever watched a video where I haven't laughed at least once. Like, at least once.
Even the ones where he doesn't have jokes. Now you're just insulting him, Eric.
That was a memorial tribute video.
All the
shit
videos. He's laughing his ass off.
No, I appreciate it, Eric. So I try to add that humor level into there too. So yeah, that's Marvel trading cards.
That's been Marvel trading cards.
Finally
tonight.
I wish we had some sort of card for the cards. But Joe, you said a naughty word.
I did. ASS.
I didn't even catch it.
Yeah.
I knew I said it. I was waiting for him to do that, but yeah. Kind of.
All right, let's do some. What you got?
What you got over there?
Yeah, what you got over there? Which is, I love that. That's probably one of our longest things because it was just like, Joe, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got? It was like, it was a very natural thing. Like, that's not, we didn't make that up. Like, we literally said, what do you got? Oh, this is what I got. I'm like, let's just do what you got then. So
yes, let's call it what you got.
Oh yeah, Twisted Toy Fair, definitely Twisted Toy Fair.
Oh yeah, he was big in that.
Yeah,
I feel like they had like 3 Mego figures in Twisted Toy Fair that they had like 100 of, and they're like, let's just cut off his head this week, and let's do this week, and let's do that, and they were just like destroying those toys left and right.
Oh, weird. So that's funny. I had a crowd that was really nerdy, so it was games and comics still. So okay, cool. All right, Eric, you got some. I think you said you had a boatload.
I have an insane amount of stuff. So I typically only open my figures.
All right, thanks everyone for coming out. We really appreciate everyone who's in the chat watched. How's it feel? That's so funny. No, go ahead.
Zing.
Oh. Yeah, but you happen to catch me on a pretty good week because I'm doing an opening video right now, and like I said earlier, NECA just seems to have like 2 drops a year where they just drop everything. So they had a pretty big drop. So I'll start with a lot of that stuff. So let's see.
I've got 3 things to show, so we can intersperse your stuff if you want to pick
I'm
some
gonna
stuff.
try to bunch them out because I have a lot of figures, but 6 of them are the same here.
Oh,
I was just going back and looking at these because Joe and I are going to do another Twisted Toy Fair / Robot Chicken
esque
video coming up here. So I was using them. They're funny. They're not as funny as I remember, but the characters are the best parts of them. So okay.
So I got 6 of the secretly used foot soldiers here. So I got 3 of the 2
get this back up there. Whoa, get this up.
Oh, I'm going to take them back up. I'll just do one at a time. I don't think I got to keep all 6 on here, but
that's not as impressive. It's focusing on your eyes. It doesn't want to let go of your eyes, your lovely eyes there. There you go. Now the mic in your mouth.
Yeah, but these guys, they're pretty much exactly the same as the first movie ones. They're just decoed a little bit different, and I'm going to have all of them holding these stupid batons just like they did. They couldn't use their weapons, so all of my foot soldiers will be holding these ridiculous.
Guys, we got to PG this movie up. All right, no blades.
Blades. They did come with the bladed weapons, but yeah, mine will. Actually, I think they just came with all blunted weapons. I think it was they came with the axe, so they did have a bladed
swords.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. That's awesome. Were those on sale? Did you say they were on sale?
So I had actually
no, I'm broke.
Remember when I was like, I have 1 foot soldier, and you're like, oh yeah, I just got 6 more.
Yeah, so I pre-ordered the 2-pack a while ago, and then they just started hitting stores now, so I went and got 2 more while I could find them. The foot soldier is the only thing in my area that never seemed to come back. Like, I never see the first movie foot soldiers in my area, but I see every other 2-pack from the first movie. So if I see foot soldiers, I grab foot soldiers, and that's kind of my philosophy with like any of the lines pretty much. So, but I've kind of capped it at 8 for every line. But I pretty much have 8 of foot soldiers for every line.
That's good. You got to double the turtles. That's good. They're all fighting too. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Steven likes to do this thing during our streams to gift a membership to a random person. So Steven, you're awesome for doing this, by the way. And for where these funds actually go, they don't go to buying more toys. They go to pay for the service that Joe and I are using in order to keep this on, right? And like editing subscriptions and stuff like that too. So it really does help out.
StreamYard ain't free.
No, exactly. StreamYard, Filmora, Artlist, all that crap costs money. So that's where that's going. Really appreciate it. So thanks, Steve. You weirdly nice person. Just.
All right, I'll show this little guy right here.
Oh,
I got these guys.
So weird seeing them in 6-inch form. It's so bizarre.
They're pretty cool. I mean,
I know. I just never thought.
Officers or troopers?
So the joke is that these were called officers, and the one that came before it was also called officers.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And they're also kind of an amalgam of both the trooper and the officer molds from before, as was the other one as well. So like, it's kind of a joke from the 375 era. But I'm using these as troopers because they came with 2 heads. They came with the alternate officer head, but it has the trooper helmet and trooper mask. So like, I came with, so this is the extra head for the officer head, but I really like the modern mask and the goggles and stuff. So like this helmet is the trooper helmet. So I'm going to use these as troopers. I also got only one of the officers. So like that, the other one rather. So it kind of works. They're good. I love them. It's a fun repaint for these for some reason. I don't mind. Cool. I didn't get too many of the Python patrols, but I've got a decent little squad of Python patrols now. But yeah, cool little emblem thing on the side here. That's pretty neat.
It's called a brassard. It's weird. I don't know why. It's a weird army thing. I hate it. Yep. One day I'm going to burn that knowledge out of my head. Yep, love these colors. I agree. The Python Patrol. I didn't like Tiger Force. I did like Python Patrol, and it mostly had to do with like the scale zigzaggy.
Here's the other one. This is the first one, the officer, I guess. The one that's also the officer. Yep.
Okay, yeah, because I feel like the officer does look more trooper.
Huh.
But he also only comes with the one head sculpt, and that's the officer head sculpt and helmet. So like he's got the little rank on his helmet, for instance,
Okay.
It's black, but it's there. But that's kind of, it's the weird mix of the two figures that I'm just like, all right, I'm going to call this one the officer and call these ones the troopers. And I think that's what it was originally for the 3.75 ones. But I went and got another one of these.
Oh, did you?
And the reason I got one is because I was like, I really want another one of those missiles, but missile pods, but I don't want 2 scrap irons. But they conveniently gave me a second head, so I just
Oh, wow.
swapped him out with
nice.
a little red masked head there, and just put scrap iron's helmet on there. And now I've got scrap iron's got a little dude to run around with him and blowing people up with missiles.
Minions.
Yes. So I was like, I really want another scrap iron pack for that missile pod that he comes with, but like, I don't want another scrap iron. Yeah. And this double head pack with these guys was just like, nah, that was a no-brainer, Dom, you know?
Yeah, no-brainer. Brian got a few of these when they hit clearance here. See what you're missing out on now that you're you abandoned this line.
Anyway, it was good.
Well, I mean, trust me, especially now that everything's like super cheap too, because I mean that's just like we were talking about Mythic Legions earlier. Like
I know.
2 years ago, you never would have thought you would see Joe figures even half off. So it's just crazy time we're living in right now.
Somebody posted on Walmart. There's figures on like a Baroness for $4, a Lady Jake's. I know those were rare for like $7, but there was also like the Alley Viper was for like
Crimson Alley Viper. Yeah, is already half off or something like that.
Gone though, absolutely gone. So Joe, I went there to be like,
no, I mean, like I got to it. Like I want to army build a little, but not like that. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Like I got 2 of them. That's plenty.
Face.
Like
shut your face. At that price, you have to. Like you're obligated to legally.
You have to buy it. You have to buy it. There's no other way.
Man, that's a cool spread here. Man, I can't wait to have all those guys flanking your giant his tank. Huh?
Also, cool. I know, seriously. But I also like I know we talked about this when we talked about scrap iron, but I really love this like little R2D2 lens that they put on the front of this. It always makes it look like it could be like a little drone thing that goes off by its own on its own.
Yeah.
I like the missile pod thing. The way it moved, like it can move like this. The tracks can move independently. Like
thanks, Steven. Yeah.
It's pretty cool, you know. So like it's really neat the way this thing works. And I was like, I got to get another one of those. So this two heads that came with the officer was just, you know, like the perfect opportunity to be like, oh, I'll grab one of those, slap a head on there. I did paint his neck black because he had really sloppily, but I painted it black real quick because it was skid color.
I mean, I wouldn't have even noticed.
Yeah.
I mean, you know. At any rate, yeah, so that's a quick little custom. Now I got a second missile pod. Scrap Iron has a little guy to run around with him, blowing stuff up. It's good.
Man, there's going to be wreaking some havoc on your vamps are going to be in it.
Yeah, that's just
absolutely destroying
they're pretty screwed.
Yeah,
I don't know how they're going to do it.
We'll be able to, you can get the dragonflies. So. Okay, all right. Well, okay. I guess Misa here. So, okay. So I've had these guys for a little while now, right? Ooh, is that coming in there? And it's 3 of these. These are from Cosmic Legions, and these are supposed to be like the science officers or science whatever. But I put these Final Faction guns in their hands, those Dollar Tree figures, like, oh, these are cool sci-fi guns to go with them, because they all come with the same assault rifle and pistol. So like, I gotta change this up. And then Eric, it's funny you mentioned like they went on sale, right? They're like, of course I'm gonna like $35. I was like, yeah, of course, yeah. So I couldn't pass up that sale, so I had to army build some, to get some more. But yeah, and maybe
look at that.
One more.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I love this. It's my favorite figure of the line. They're so cool. They're just these stark white. And I know what it is. They look like the Sardaukar from Dune, and I love the Sardaukar from the new movie Dune. And like they're blue. They're
really cool.
I love them. So like, yeah, I army built the crap out of these guys, and I had to stop. I literally I ordered some while I got the notification for shipping. I was like, maybe I need a couple more to join.
Maybe I need
ordered, and then they're see it on sale too. When you see an army builder on sale, like I said, anytime I see a foot soldier, I grab it. Like I don't know. There's something about army builders where it is just hard to cut it off, and that's why I've just made my limit 8. It's a hard 8. Nothing goes over 8.
Love it. I can't wait for my freaking McFarlane Terminator just to absolutely obliterate these guys.
8's a good number, you know.
And this is the only guy that I pre-ordered from the second like small Cosmic Wave. You know how they release a full wave and then a small one? Only one I got because the prices. I was like, oh my god! I like cut loose all
that wave came at a real
Yes.
Like pre-orders were nailing me at that time,
Yep.
and I was like, I can't get any of these. And I was
And
like, maybe I'll buy a few when it's on big bad prices, even though they're up. Like, but I'll buy less because they're more, because they cost more.
That's exactly what I did. I got them on big bad. I couldn't get them from the Four Horsemen. This is so Mass Effect. Like the armor, the head thing, everything. He reminds me of the big lizard guys from Mass Effect. John, I don't know that reference. Eric, have you ever played Mass Effect?
Yeah, I've never played it before, but I know what you're talking about.
All right, somebody in the chat will back me up. But yeah, he's really cool. He comes with this little rocket launcher in his wrist here. He has a closed mouth too. But Tristan and I were just like, he has to have the open mouth. Dad, I'm like, yeah, he's really neat. So,
did Dom save any for other people?
No, and I have no shame for that. No,
he did not.
I love them. I'm probably going to continue, much like my Space Marines. Every month because the Space Marines are going on sale for like $12 or $13. I'd buy one Space Marine. So I've got like this pile over there. And it's the same thing with these guys. Like I think every quarter I'm just gonna be like one more science guy. So I have like a literal legion of these dudes. I love them. So I was gonna show what I got for the boys for Christmas stuff, but I had to like hide them, and I stuffed it so well that I don't feel like going to get them. But I got them.
I don't even know where they are. You know, Clark Griswold pulling presents out, just handing them. They'll be like March, and they'll be like, "Hey, I got you a toy." I know Christmas wasn't that great, but here's a toy.
So that's all I really got because holidays and all that kind of stuff. So,
Eric, you've got a mountain more stuff to show.
Oh boy, okay.
What you got? What you got?
I didn't show them the regular foot soldiers, but
more foot soldiers.
I'm a sucker.
A special foot soldier. So the Kino,
nice, yeah,
training Kino soldier one also comes with the chubby foot soldier.
What? I want that one.
So yeah, it's a bummer that he's tied to Kino, because if they made 2 packs of this, I probably would have got a couple of those.
Every other foot soldier is fat.
Yeah, so it's just funny that they did something like this. Like, it is pretty.
Listen, some of them are teenagers, and some of them not so much.
I wish can't figure out.
Some of them are Gary. Shoot, man. Henchman number 24 from Venture Brothers. That's
from Venture Brothers. I knew.
Yeah, I was like, wait, guys, we got to do this for Shredder. Like, that's.
But yeah,
that's great.
Awesome. Hilarious figure. Yeah,
I actually really loved it. They did that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm sitting on 7, so I might leave it at 7 for my Secret of the Use.
Was the dude training him in the movie actually heavier? I wonder.
So I want to say it's one of the ones when they're in the junkyard messing around in the background when they actually are doing this stuff. I think that's where it comes from, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to rewatch it.
That's interesting.
Also, the eyes on his masks are different than the other ones, so I don't know what's going on there. So I want to watch the movie to see if they are just different as well. But yeah, I don't know. Pretty cool that they did a random one like that.
Behind the scenes, that's Steven Seagal in that scene.
Right.
He's like, turtles, I'd fight them all. Wouldn't be a problem.
I'll be able to punch these guys all, do a roundhouse.
Wouldn't even be a problem. Take them all out.
So the star of everything that I opened in the last couple of weeks are definitely the movie 3 Turtles.
Yeah.
These guys, I don't know what it is, and I said this to Dom, like the worst costumes seem to make for the best action figures, and I don't know why. Like, these...
It's sort of why I love Big Boa.
Yeah, exactly. He's ridiculous and he's stupid, but he's an awesome
he's ridiculous.
figure.
But I'm like, come on,
he's got
that's
boxing
fun.
gloves. He doesn't even come with a weapon. Like, he just has boxing gloves. But
and from the worst movie, so that makes sense. So
yeah, like these turtles and the ones from the musical tour, like there's some of the best figures that NECA's
people
made.
hate on the third movie like they do the Star Wars prequels, and I don't think it's not that bad.
It's man, as a kid I hated that. Like, I went there being like,
watch my channel and the podcast from the beginning. I am.
It's not that bad.
No, it's not. It's not as bad. It's not great. Like,
I like it.
It definitely shouldn't have been up for an Oscar or anything like that. But, like, it's fun. Like, I mean,
really weird for the Academy to even put that in the running. You know,
right? Like, I enjoy it. I watched that one just as much as I watched the other ones. Honestly,
I like it.
I went back and rewatched the first one with my boys, and I was like, I'm having a hard time sitting.
In my head, I think when that trailer hit, I was like, please meet Usagi. Please meet Usagi.
Oh, I
Please
know,
meet
right?
Usagi.
Yeah.
Why? It was such a missed opportunity. Probably. I mean, I know there's rights involved and whatnot, but like, man, that would have been so great if they had gone back in time. They're like, hey, there's another mutant, and he's a samurai.
Feudal Japan, like it would have been the
Would have been amazing.
Did you have more, Eric? Did you have even more?
I have so much stuff.
Oh my gosh! Well, we can't.
All right, Eric, show one more thing, and then I'll show one, and then you show like 7. Show as many as you want till we're done.
There's a couple more Last Ronin Sinjas. I've gotten
Ronin.
one of these, and I got 2 more. And I think with the comic book line, I'm going to go 3 on all the army builders, so I'll probably cap it here. But these are one of the best figures, and I don't know why. Like, they're just super simple, but they're just done really well. Like I said, I can't get a good focus on here, but
they're pretty cool.
I'll do. They have a lot of good detail. The paint's really good. Like, I mean, I don't know.
They did a really good job of making blue snake eyes. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, robot snake eyes.
Exactly is what they look like. They come with an alt head, and I have it on my other one, my third one. But yeah, they're really, really cool army builders.
Cool.
They're Becca's knocking it out of the park with the comic book stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
You don't get the NECA comic book, like the cartoony comic. What was that?
Archie is the one line that I'm not.
Yeah, I thought you said you didn't get that.
Yeah, I have like no nostalgia for it, and I never even got into it when I hit my Turtles resurgence either. So like it's an easy pass for me, which is nice. Just because I mean, I need something I can pass on.
You didn't get the Jackamon.
You need something that you can just be like, I don't want this.
And they do look great. I mean, they look like great figures. They look like better versions of Toon figures, basically. So
yes, that's what I thought too. Yeah. Huh. Okay. All right, Joe.
All right. Well, number 2 of Mezco G.I. Joe's got released.
Oh wow, it is Mezco.
Yeah, it's definitely Mezco.
Huh. Oh wow, he looks really good.
He's ridiculously amazing. Obviously Blastovex. This comes out. He can let go of the machine gun
and just let it run wild
and fold this down, and then you've got the 2 bars that fold out, so he can actually put it on the tripod and fire
it. The butterfly grip. Yeah, cool.
This backpack it's insane. So this twists and unlocks.
It's one of Brian's favorite Joes.
Pulls off, and this is his tripod stored in the back that you can mount the machine gun to.
That is insanely heavy. That's all I'm thinking about. It's like ridiculous how heavy that would be. That's really cool. Then it's got
actual clips and stretchy material that clips this onto his body.
Oh, so if he gains weight like that football, the foot soldier, he can expand it out. Yeah,
you can just expand it out. So this harness stretches across his body. This whole thing unclips from the backpack. If you want to just set this down and have the ammo feeding into the machine gun on the ground, and he can just leave this strapped onto his body. This version 2 vest of Roadblock, which is not garish and red like the actual version 2 Roadblock was, comes right off, and you can have version 1 Roadblock if you want to do that. He also has alternate straps, and these holsters and pouch on the sides plugs into the vest, but it also plugs into the straps that you can put on.
That's so clever.
It's really ridiculous. See, it comes with other heads, but I don't have them out right now. But he also comes with a helmet.
You could get into Mezco, Eric. You could get into Mezco.
Oh, I do have.
He's ridiculously awesome, and I'm not even a huge Roadblock fan, but man, he is fantastic. Also comes with the saw.
Eric, what were you gonna say? Eric,
I was gonna say I did message Joe actually one time, and he never messaged me back. But I did get a Mezco figure, and they are exactly how you hype them up to be. Like I have the cable, and they are awesome.
The quality is
it is. It's just night and day different than Hasbro. I mean, it's not even in the same ballpark. Like
this extends out. The handle actually swivels a little bit. It's on a swivel, so if you're articulating him around and the handle it won't snap off. Like it'll move with his hand a little bit, which I actually really appreciate. But yeah, he's fantastic on multiple levels. Obviously, he's got a little knife back here.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. This is like the ultimate Roadblock. If you like version 1, you got it. If you like version 2, you got it. It's pretty awesome.
I wish my pants moved that fluidly. The right leg keeps riding up. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah, they're ridiculously articulated. It's amazing how much he can move his abdomen, even with heavy vest on. Like I said, the detail in the this thing is insane.
Yeah.
Like it's
a lot of engineering there. You know what I mean? Like that's toy engineering to be able to
look
get
at
all
this.
that
It's got a locking bar on the inside.
Really cool.
That locks that's crazy.
You also had to solve the riddle in order to get past the locking bar.
And honestly, I got this out of the package and I was like, does this thing open? Like, what is this? 2 seconds later, I looked at the little fold-out piece of paper that it came with. This is actually really good rubber. It feels solid, but it bends with the toy really well. So like if you get them into random positions and stuff. But yeah, Roadblock crushes it. I don't know how many more Mezcos I will get of G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
Roadblock was just kind of one of the first ones that I was like, it's one of the first ones I'm gonna get him. But if he came later on, I might
not. Destro.
Yeah, I do.
And then what else has been announced? Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow.
Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, Firefly, Duke.
Well, you're getting all three of those, and you might not get
those.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
I mean, well, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I haven't dropped off of it yet, but that's not to say that I won't eventually. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, Mezcas they're expensive.
Do you think? Do you think they'll get into troops, or are they just gonna keep doing characters? Do you think anyone would want a Mezco troop?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, can you really? I mean, there's people out there that can certainly army build Mezcos, but I'm not one of them. So like, if they had a trooper, maybe I'd get one, and just be like, this is the ultimate trooper that I will always have as my officer of all my
Let's go beat up those people.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so far I don't love the Duke face sculpt. So like that was one that I was almost like, do I want that one? Kind of thing. So like already I'm kind of like, nah, but it's Duke. So I'm like, all right, fine, it's Duke. But I don't know. I mean, I might not be. It depends. Like, let's see what comes out next. Or like, they've been putting a lot into this line recently, so we'll see how it goes. But I might not be all in on those. But
so fancy.
So far, I am. Like a sickness. Mezco is
top that, Eric. Top that with your neck on
Mezco. I do that. Well, okay. I'll go my next heavy hitter then. So I got quarter scale.
Oh my goodness. Here. He looks like he's sitting in the chair with you.
Right. So this has been like, I want to say Raph came out at the end of 2020. So this has been like 3 years in the making to get all 4 of these turtles.
What are you doing with these? Where are these going to go in your lawn, like a lawn gnome? What are you doing?
So they're all sitting in front of me. Actually, I have 3 of them on my desk.
I love that idea.
Right? I don't know. I'd be a little worried about them outside, but
God, just permanently affix them to like the sewer where they won't get washed away and just like
there you go. Who makes those? I've never even heard of
those
them.
are NECA. Yeah, NECA. So the NECA quarter scale turtles. So like I said, this 2020 is when the Raph came out. So I've been waiting forever to finally complete or get all 4 of them. So it's finally cool that.
So is Mikey the last one then? Yeah,
because I don't know where they'll go next because the movie line they did the Turtles, then they did Shredder and Foot Soldiers, and they teased that they're gonna do other characters for the movie line like years ago, and they haven't yet. So it'll be interesting to see what they do for the animated series if they do any more figures for that one.
They'll just do Krang, but it'll be regular size.
Right. Well, so that is one that's coming out actually. Yeah, it's for the Toon line, and he's like the same size as the quarter scale figures, but he's giant Krang for the 6-inch line.
That's actually pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
They already thought of it. Damn it.
Yeah. So okay, so this is it. I think I'm down to the nitty gritty here. Off turtles. So
you can't say damn. Oh, that's ridiculous, Tom.
Who said that?
I did. Raph screams that at the top of his lungs in Teenage Ninja Turtles the movie.
It's rated PG. It is rated PG.
First of all, PG was different back then. Second, you can say one F-bomb in a PG-13 movie. Yeah, okay. So you're right. So I mean, what are we?
Well, it's PG though.
That is your only litmus test. Like, did the turtles swear or not? Like,
if the turtles could say it in a movie, then it's allowed.
False. All right, what do you got?
Yeah, I disagree with that one.
Got the 97.
I mean, man,
The 97 Wolverine, and I don't think I'm gonna get all 6 of the figures, but the Wolverine, I mean, it just looked like the best Wolverine, and I kind of think it is. The only bummer is it doesn't come with like a growling head sculpt. He comes with like the unmasked alternate head, and I wish it came with the growling head. But other than that, I mean, this is as perfect of a Wolverine you're gonna get from Hasbro.
Look at those eyebrows,
perfect as a Wolverine you're gonna get from Hasbro.
Yeah, that's pretty. Oh.
So yeah, I've been looking at that guy a lot. And dude, they put so Mezco figures have gone on sale. The Uncanny X-Men Wolverine was down to $40.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah, there was
which one's the Uncanny?
The gray
Uncanny is like the blue and the blue and yellow classic X-Men suit costume.
90s. Okay.
Yeah. The Danger Room suit or whatever they would wear,
Or no. That's the alternate one. There's also an Uncanny, the black and gray one that's down to
yes.
That one was down to like 70, I think. The
brown one went on. I mean, the brown one's really old. I mean, old, but I mean, that was one of the really early figures they made. So like, that's probably why it's finally hitting like lower numbers finally.
So Wolverine brown.
That's the one I want. That comes with the Sentinel head, so it's like an extra $50. So
he was a lot.
Yeah.
But that's funny because like on that note, like I was waffling on mostly with the Mezcos. I was just getting DC for the like longest time, and a very choosy, and because they're so expensive. And then I finally was like, do I want like old school X-Men? Like, do I want to get like Cyclops with the head mask on, or do I want the 90s Cyclops kind of thing? And I finally like pulled the trigger on the 90s, and I went back and got Gambit at a pretty decent price. Like, because I was watching, he'd be like $250 sometimes. I'm like, no way. And I got him for like 90, which is pretty close to his regular price. So I was like, I'll grab that for $90. So like I do have Gambit, but it was like a really freak sale on eBay for somebody who was just like getting rid of it for some reason.
That's awesome.
I was like, I will snatch that up right now. Yeah, all I have is Wolverine and Gambit and Magneto. I don't even have Cyclops yet, but I am I did go 90s. Finally, I chose a route sort of. So like I am slowly picking those up. But again, Mezco's expensive.
Regular 90s Cyclops might be on sale right now too. I think he might be $70.
Yeah, he is. But it's also Christmas time, and I couldn't spend money on myself. So I was like, no.
That one's cool, Joe. So for a while, Joe was getting me Mezco figures, and that was one of the ones that got me. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was one. Yeah.
Man, for those of you guys who are still watching out there in the chat, I appreciate it. But I just realized we have not like asked you guys a single thing on what you're enjoying or what you're hoping.
How you guys feel about Mezco? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right, what else you got, Eric?
All right, last two. I'll just do them together. So I finally started working on the Chode Build-A-Figure wave.
The Chode.
So the bummer here, there's only 2 figures I want. Corsair is really the only figure I want here. I have Fang coming, and he's the other one that I wanted. But like
he's the only one I didn't want.
Yeah, I know you said you didn't, but I kind of want like the Shi'ar stuff. So I'm
yeah.
But the Emma Frost is cool, but it's not the Emma Frost I want.
Yeah, nah.
And it's just a bummer because my biggest collecting regret of all time was not going in on that Comic-Con exclusive Hellfire Club 4-pack that came out 2 or 3 years ago.
Right.
And I went in on the Joe stuff that year. I went in on, I can't remember, the Power Ranger stuff, and I've sold both of those since then. And the one that I wish that I had was the X-Men one. So it's kind of like my biggest bummer that I didn't get that 4-pack.
I haven't gotten any Hellfire stuff. I missed out on the Troopers, the individual packs, whatever.
Yep.
I missed out on that Amazon one. I think they had like a 4-pack, or maybe that was the con exclusive too, where it's like not Thomas Cassidy, but Black Tom was in there, and I was Black Tom. Man, I missed all those. So like, I do regret not getting the Hellfire. And now, like in the new X-Men, Hellfire Gala is a cool thing. Like it's those are big events that they actually do. Like neat. That one. So that wave is interesting. You did like the Chamber from that wave.
I love Chamber. I'm a huge fan of them though.
The thing is, that was like the era, like right when I was starting to fade out of X-Men.
Okay. Like Generation X was like a kind of a niche even for then.
Yeah, because and there's the Generation X show. Do you guys remember that? Like it was,
I do.
It was like
so bad
or something like that.
So
but
bad.
Yeah, that was kind of like towards the end. So like Chamber, Monet, like those older, or like I call them newer, 1995,
Right,
not newer,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like those guys I'm not as familiar with. So
okay.
They were really awesome in the Age of Apocalypse, for instance. Like I loved
Yeah.
what they did with that team in Apocalypse. That was really good. That was a really good run on comics. But I don't know. And for a while, that book's kept its goodness, even though people started to drop off of it.
It was kind of like the X-Men's Gen 13, images.
Yeah,
Gen 13 kind of thing. It kind of was like trying to push like a younger, but that wave was cool. Except I didn't get that Emma Frost. Same reason I just bought the part online, and I didn't get the Cyclops exclusive, which at Target that didn't.
You should have just sent Eric your Fang. You should have just sent Eric Fang.
Well, he wanted the parts too, right? Because I kept
fair enough. Fair enough.
And they just announced Shalandra, right? She's coming out too, so you'll be able to get
Lalandra? Is it
Lalandra?
I think it's Lalandra. Yeah. So they just announced her, and that the old head they package, which I have, doesn't fit onto that.
That X-Men 97 line, man. I like, even though I have an amazing Wolverine, I don't let my kids touch it, so I've almost bought that Wolverine that you got, and then I keep looking at Gambit, and I'm like, why would I buy this? And I'm like, I've almost bought like so. I'm just like, yeah, no, I don't need to spend money on that. But man, that 97 line is like,
or cool.
I'm this close to being like, give me some of these.
So like I said, there's just so much that I want right now. It's easy to backburner it. I want to get the Wolverine because he's already off Amazon, so I happen to catch him in a store. So I feel like he might go fast because Wolverine. It's Wolverine.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I've seen him in the store a few times, but it's getting harder to find that.
Yeah,
right?
I saw Bishop and I was like, that's cool, but like, they
also are. Go ahead.
The cell shading thing, you know what I mean? Like,
they're very clean. It's not that they're unrealistic. It's that they are like, they skew like ever so slightly into animation. So like they are very clean and which is fine.
What they're going for, but
that's what they're doing. Yeah.
I've already got Bishop. You know what I mean? If I didn't, then I'd be like, oh, this is a fill-in, but I've got like.
I'm definitely going to buy that Mezco Bishop if I ever see him on sale.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the Bishop too. I've seen a lot of people putting the old head on that one because I understand it's a much more contemporary Bishop, but like Bishop just isn't Bishop without that mullet. Like he needs that.
Yeah. I liked shaved head mullet.
I liked shaved head with the yeah, man. Like Bishop went down this dark road at one point. So anyway, no, that's cool.
The Mezco comes with all of those sculpts.
That's awesome. We're just gonna slowly.
One day I'll get that message.
He's gonna be like, oh, I got another one. Now I'm screwed. All it's gonna take is one more, and he's done. So,
yeah,
awesome. Well, okay, so this ran really long. It's mostly because we like Eric a lot. So we
love talking to Eric.
And I finally got to talk about Marvel trading cards, which I've been dying. I'm just like bursting at the seams, Eric. I'm just so excited to talk about.
Marvel
trading card content.
You're right. It's better if you don't move them if they're just here. Like, just tickle my fancy, Eric.
You gotta tickle that card up out of the plastic and it lands in your hand.
What? This is how I open my packs. Anyways, glad you're here, man. Looking forward to seeing more of your content coming out. Do you have anything you want to plug for your channel?
Nah, I mean, hopefully I start making more videos again soon, but it's not really a lot to talk about right now. So
everybody go back and watch Eric's enormous and amazing catalog of awesome Know You Grow Up videos and his podcast, which he will eventually get back to recording.
Hopefully, yes. I'm on hiatus from that right now as well. So
I remember the last two times I asked you, I was like, anything you want to plug? You're like, nah. I'm like, okay.
Nah.
Nope. I'm good, y'all.
I'm not real good at promoting myself. I don't know
the link to Eric's show is in our description. If you don't know who he is, go check him out.
Needs some awesome stuff. It's also you do a good job too. And I need to do a better job of addressing your audience. Like you do a really good job of that during the videos. Like you talk directly to the people who are watching it, and I don't mean that in a weird way. Like I obviously talk to people in videos, right? Joe narrates the video, but you have a very good way of connecting with your people in your videos. And I made a note of that.
I agree.
That's pretty good. So, but yeah, guys, next time,
the key is Eric makes good content.
Next time we all meet and gather together, we'll be on the 21st, and we're gonna do a top 10. And we also want to hear your top 10s and see your top 10s. So please send them. Drop a comment in this video. We should have said at the beginning of this. Why didn't we say drop a comment in this video? You want, anyways. But yeah, shoot on IG. 2 hours later, like, oh, this is where you can put your pictures, by the way. So yeah, it'll be fun. We always love doing the top 10s too.
Maybe we'll get 2. Maybe we'll get 5. I don't know.
We'll
see.
And
we'll see what we get. We'll see what we get.
So, well, okay.
I mean, I think we won toys for the week, Don.
And now that we talked about Marvel Legends trading cards, I honestly, that's it.
We won toys. It's